Hey there guys, and we are back. And this time in FTB Unleashed you can already see sort of what I have. I have some other components for it, but there is what is known as an automatic crafting system within Applied Energistics. You can sort of get an idea of it from the patterns we have over here. They're just patterns of what we want, and we can place them in either the interfaces corresponding to the machine we want them to place the materials in to get the output, or we can put them into what will be built there in order to craft them, because as it stands you would still have to craft like into wood planks. That's a crafting recipe that you wouldn't be able to do with just these guys, obviously. So this is where the ME auto crafter comes into play, and so I just need to fill in these heat vents. I'll show you really quick the different recipes of the components. So the frame, you can build this any size. I'm choosing to do it 5 by 5 by 5 in order to accommodate a large number of patterns and a large number of CPUs to increase the speed at which it crafts. But the basic component here for that is the ME assembler containment wall, and all it is just gold, iron, and Certus quartz. You only get one from each recipe, so you have to have quite a bit of gold and iron built up in order to craft a 5 by 5 such as this. Then you're going to need these ME heat vents to fill in only the sides. So these 3 by 3 blocks here are going to be made out of heat vents. That's simply an ME cable, iron bars, and iron ingots. I can go ahead and place this guy back and continue filling in the framework. And once I finish up this part, I can go on to the next piece in here, which is going to be the pattern provider. And almost done, and I'll leave myself a little escape hatch. Okay, so the last components that are needed are crafting CPUs and pattern providers. The crafting CPUs allow it to craft faster, and they're simply glowstone, iron ingots, Certus quartz, and ME advanced processors, which are just pretty much a diamond, some redstone, and some silicon. And then the second component, which allows you to store more patterns so you can craft more things, is a pattern provider. These are quite a bit more expensive, as they take a storage cell, which is okay on its own. It's not expensive, but it's more expensive than just making one of these. And that's only for one part of the recipe. You're also going to need one of these advanced processors and 2 conversion matrices for each. So you're going to need quite a bit of fluix dust, a lot of Certus and nether quartz, and plenty of iron and gold. But all you should need to do, and I'm just arranging this the way I am because I want to, there's no rhyme or reason to you placing it one way versus another. Although I should go ahead and place a pattern providers in the empty spaces. And they'll go there, there, and you can actually go ahead and put patterns in them while it's unbuilt. But I want one there and one there, and one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the last component, which turns it into an ME auto crafter, or a molecular assembly assembler chamber. Basically, it's just an auto crafter. It's a fancy name because ME likes that. AE, I suppose, but the ME stuff. Basically, you have, depending on the number of those pattern providers you put in, you have a differing number of pages of recipes you can put in. So I can put in Let's see, I can put in 15 pages of 3 9 by 6s, which is a double chest, so I have 15 double chests worth of pattern storage in here to store as many crafting recipes as I like. And I went ahead and crafted a couple blank patterns in order to get myself on the road. So I'm definitely going to need iron. I'm definitely going to need quartz of all types. Going to need a silicon cutting knife. Going to need this. Going to actually... Oh, I already have some ground up.
Christopher, do you want dessert? Chocolate cake with bananas and ice cream? Okay.
I'm also going to need... definitely glowstone. Going to need sticks. Oh, not glow, stick. Yeah, that kind. And I'll need to tell it how to make a stick, so I'll need wood, and I'll need plank. Let's see. What else will I need? Well, I'll start with that. So you can also make things just by shift clicking the recipe in, I believe. I'm not entirely sure, don't quote me on that, but I believe you can. So for example, making one of these, shift click it in, yep, and it automatically just put it, oh, I don't even need the, okay, I can just put all this stuff back because it already knows how to make stuff. Handy. So just encode it how to make one of those, how to make one of these, and then I'll go ahead and tell it how to make one of, oh, I guess I have to make one and tell it to do that, but let's see, we're definitely going to need to know how to make the the quartz cutting knife. Quartz cutting knife, encode, tell it how to make sticks. Yeah, there we go. How to make sticks out of wood, somewhere in here. It's going to be in shapeless crafting. Shaped crafting? Okay, I'll manually tell it. So you and plank. So clear. 2EU, make sticks. And you get 2 of these from this. Put these back. What else will I need? Okay, so I'm definitely going to need to know how to make Fluix dust. Going to need conversion matrices. And I might as well go ahead and tell it how to make a basic processor. So let's go ahead and make one of these. Supply the cutting knife. And I'll do the same for diamonds. And it'll automatically import those. I just need to simply search it up. That would be, what are those, processors? Yeah. And I should probably craft another one of these each. So wherever my gold happens to be. And I'll have to manually input those since those are furnace recipes. There we go. And I'll actually need a second of each of those because these are furnace recipes and I want both of the furnaces to be able to make them. So one of each. That should fill up that interface. Ooh, running out of storage here. Thankfully we still have this 4K to fill up and these 4Ks and these 1Ks. But yeah. Let's go ahead and put these in the molecular assembler chamber. And just, it automatically shows you what you can make. And if I go up to my system and I request, for example, conversion matrix, I can demand a certain amount of them to be made. And it'll go through all this different steps it wants. Oh. At mod.applied. There we go. I'll also tell it how to make MA cable. Wrong thing. Need to put it in here. At mod.applied. There we go. ME cable. Simply Fluix dust. And I undid it because I pressed the wrong button. Okay. You're also going to want to know how to make 1K. I'll probably just tell it how to make 1 and 4K for right now. Alright.
Merry Christmas.
Tell how to make those. Because it needs to know how to make those in order to make the 4K. And make one of those. So now it knows how to make disk drives. Or not disk drives, it knows how to make the storage for the disk drives. I should also tell it how to make, not precision, but yeah, just basic import and exports. So you need to know how to make one of these. And then you need to know how to make one of those actually. There you go. That's how you make one of those. You already know how to make iron. So that's good. Then you know how to make one of those. And then the same thing except it just needs to know how to make a sticky piston as opposed to the normal piston. So there you go. Come on, I drugged you out. And now you know how to make one of those. I'll also go ahead and tell it how to make 16K because I'm probably going to want those in the future. Okay. And then tell it how to make the actual 16K. Anything else? I should probably teach it how to make one of these. Teach it about some other things. What else? I don't want to make 64Ks yet. Those are quite expensive. I already told it how to make blink patterns, didn't I? I think I did. Very easy way to tell. I didn't. Not unless I just made it in this batch. Just dump all those in. Yeah, I didn't tell it how to make these patterns actually. I thought that was one of the first things I did. So blank pattern. That's all you need. And it can figure out most of the recipes just by the base ingredients. I'm giving it knows how to make the base ingredients if not. Don't really need storage buses. So I think this will actually be good for right now. But yeah, just for the AE recipes that I want to craft commonly, it already knows about half of a full page of things. So if I just switched it over to purely craftable, I can now craft all of these things. I can craft wood, all these independently. Probably want to give it back its quartz cutting knife so it knows that it has one instead of trying to craft one. So yeah, that's basically how this works. I'll actually give you a little demonstration here. Let's say I want to make, let's say I want to make a 16K storage cell. Just make me one. And I can view it in the crafting terminal. It's making all these different things. It's currently crafting up the processors, the basic processors, and then it moves on to making each of these. It makes the storage cells for each of these storage segments, and then it'll make the final storage block. Oh, I didn't teach it silicon. Okay, quickly teach it that. Oh, oh gosh, I have to physically supply that for right now. Let me look up dust. Need to switch it from purely craftable to this. Okay, so I need quartz dust, not that kind, this kind. Only make half a stack. And now all I need to do is supply it with the missing silicon, which I'll have to get some extra furnaces and interfaces for later. But for right now, it's good to go. So it needs to make 3 more storage cells and 2 basic ME processors in order to make next storage segment, so on and so forth until it finally gets storage block. And then we have our first 16K, which I'll probably swap out for one of these unused 1Ks for right now. Have it do a bit of mass storage. This storage is much better than just scattered storage, I guess you could say. But yeah, you can see I've already ran out of a 4K and 3 1Ks, and I ran out of types on this 4K. This one's approaching completion. This one's about halfway. These last 3 drives aren't up. I shouldn't say that. That one's partially used. These 2 aren't even used at all. Okay, so it looks like this guy just filled up a second ago, because I had to recharge my suit earlier, and it is down about 300K, but this guy looks to have just finished because he's now gaining power. Okay, so it's done with that. What's it on now? What happened? Did it make it? Storage. It did. See, I didn't even know. I can go ahead and supply these back in the system because I don't need them. So I'll switch out this 1K for a 16K since this one has yet to be used. And that'll provide a large amount of storage volume comparatively. And if I want, I can just make an ME chest to stick this 1K in, but I don't think I will. Let's see, what else can we do this episode? Because I'm not going to end it off at 18 minutes. I think we should convert these into better furnaces, otherwise known as induction furnaces. Because induction furnaces run a lot faster. They do draw 1 EU per tick just automatically, but they're very cheap to convert from an automatic e-furnace or electric furnace. They're just a steel machine hull / advanced machine block and some copper, and they work a lot better. They do take time to heat up, but if I just take out 2 levers, very handy, I can make them very simply. So since I'm not smelting anything up at the moment, I can go ahead and remove them, put them in the spotlight here in a second. Do I have any steel machine hulls? I have 1 that I can go ahead and use. And I need copper. Not copper, copper. There we go. Make 1 of them. And do I have an advanced Machine block. I have one advanced alloy, so I think I'm just going to make some steel. Grab me all but 3 of those ingots. And craft that into a machine hull. Oh, I need to plate them. Duh. Steel plates. There's a plate bender. This does not automatically import, so I do have to manually just pick it up. Although it's not much of a hassle. Eventually I'll have all these machines automated, but for right now, not the case. Okay, steel machine hull. That's already induction. There we go. Catastrophic success. And place these guys over here. Now, the only difference between these and the others are these do not have the upgrades, which I cannot strip off. At least I don't think I can strip them off. If I could, that would be bad that I didn't. But basically, these guys have a smaller internal buffer because they don't... Actually, no, they have the same, I'm pretty sure. Unless adding transformer upgrades changes that. But these guys have a heat level, and also they have 2 input and 2 output. So they cook 2 things at a time. But the heat level means that as long as it's low, it's not going to cook very fast. If it's really high, which means you would have to put a lot of items through subsequently, like if I put a bunch of stone through here, for example. Yeah, now you can see it's starting to gain heat. It draws 16 EU per tick while it's working, even at low heat. But you can see it's slowly gaining heat, and as it gains heat, it smelts faster and faster. So I'm just going to take this out because I don't want to melt up a bunch of stone. What you can do is apply a redstone signal, and it'll turn them on to, I believe it's only 1 EU per tick it draws while it's heating, but if it's actually cooking, it's 16. Let me get my EU reader to make sure that that's the truth and I'm not just lying to you. Okay, so it seems to be about 1 EU per tick, because it draws like 16 every so often. Somehow all my stuff's getting rearranged. Just like Danny Phantom's molecules. And then I got darkness because of that dragon egg energy siphon. Okay, so let's just take, yeah, 32 EU. Yeah, that's about 1 EU per tick for right now. And all it's doing is heating up, so if I put an item in there, it's about the same speed as an electric furnace, only at 14% heat. That should be a realization for you. This thing can get a lot faster. Unfortunately, I don't have the advanced machines mod, I believe it is, that adds the other machine equivalents. Okay, I guess I just got speed, even though I already got it from my beacon. But with the advanced machines mod, you can have an implosion compressor or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But basically it just operates a lot faster and it has a charge up time like this one. Same with the macerator back there and the extractor here, although it doesn't have it for GregTech machines, so those are out of the question. But yeah, let's see how fast it is at 24% heat. Yeah, look at that. 25% heat, and it's already working really fast. And that's just part of base industrial craft and at mod.industrial. Yeah, see, it should be right here. Induction furnace, that's just part of the regular one. So unfortunately they don't have the other ones in this mod just by default, but you could add them if you liked. I don't think I will, unfortunately. So yeah, now we can craft whatever we like. In fact, we should probably craft a disk drive, just have it craft the components thereof or something. make us a disk drive, and then we can make a bunch of 16K or maybe a bunch of 4K. I think it's probably going to be better to do 16K because we don't have as many types that we need to store, but we definitely have a lot of items. We've gotten a lot of the small type items, like the ones that require a single type in and of themselves, that are kind of waste, like these bees, especially the princesses, because they each take us one type each, because they only stack one at a time. You can't stack them in your inventory. They're a big space waster. I tried to get rid of most of the space wasters, but those bees can turn into good things, like they can give you iridium and such. Same with these, but these are a different type of bee. I believe these only stack one to a stack. Same with all the enchanting books. I kept the enchanting ones, that sort of thing. But we got most of the space wasters out of the way. So if we want to make a full, if we want to replace this 1K in here and make a separate disk drive that holds 16Ks only, we could do that. In fact, I should probably go ahead and do that. I'm going to look up how to make a disk drive. Drive. Is it just called an ME drive? It is. Not driver. Forgot, you gotta click. Oh yeah, that's easy. So I'll just request that it makes me some processors. Craft me one more. So it's just going to smelt that one I had, and there we go. One on either side. And what was it? It was a drive. ME drive. And there we go. ME drive. Just place that thing right here. It'll temporarily disable those because it's now no longer connected. But there it goes. This is technically considered part of the system, so it can just sort of go around. So I'll go ahead and make the thing give me, in fact, let me go ahead and switch out this before it starts storing anything. Go ahead and make myself a bunch of storage containers, a bunch of 16Ks. I need a total of 10, but I already have one, so 9. And you're going to quickly see that it needs a lot of materials for that. And I don't think I taught it how to make glass. Yeah, missing materials, glass. Thankfully I got a bunch of sand, so let me actually grab 4 stacks since these induction furnaces handle 2 stacks apiece. They should be almost full. And you can see how fast they cook up. And I will have to be careful clicking on this when I need to access it so that I don't accidentally turn off the lever, because it will quickly drain. But yeah, now it's chugging right along. Should be no problems with it getting 9 more of these storage cells. And once these are all filled up to, like, once the core is done running, then I'll put these in, because I don't want them to start filling up with crap that they don't need to be filled up with. In fact, at some point I should probably partition the drives. That takes a lot of time, but eventually it's in your best interest, because you can tell, for example, items that take a lot of storage, like if you store a lot of obsidian, you can tell it to store all the obsidian in this drive and like this drive and this drive, but it doesn't necessarily have to. But yeah, I think I've gotten quite a bit of use out of this episode. I get like a bunch of usefulness for you guys out of this episode. So I think I will have to say goodbye. Oh, bye there. I'm sorry about that. I don't know if it caught that entirely. But oh, bye there.